Hello friends, good morning. It is Monday, December 28th, and I feel like I need to make an accountability vlog. Why, are you wondering, I'm sure. I feel like I've gotten behind on arcs that are releasing, and they're books I'm genuinely excited for, so I want to get to them. So I opted to do a vlog where I document reading arcs that are all coming out next Tuesday because I have 5 of them. I will be doing a buddy read with one of my friends during this time period as well. We will be doing, for those of you who have been begging me to read this forever, we're finally going to read Red, White, and Royal Blue. So I need to get to this first tab today because I'm a day behind. But I will probably give you my thoughts during this week while I do this. But the biggest thing is let's talk about what I'm going to be reading. So first up, the arcs that I have are Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, which I am super excited to read. Then we have Stealing Her, I forget who writes that, and Spun Out by Lorelei James. So mostly they're romances. So this will be a very romance-heavy week. If that is not the content you signed up for, I'm very sorry. But then I also have Don't Breathe a Word by Christine Craig, which is a physical finished copy that I got sent early by Forever Romance. And same thing with Leave Me Breathless by Jodi Ellen Malpas. I read a Jodi Ellen Malpas in this series earlier this year, and so I'm excited to get back into the world that she's kind of created with these people. And so I'm really just interested in it. And I'm interested in all of them. So I'll be reading these, plus Red, White, and Royal Blue in this vlog. So I hope you enjoy it. I will check back in with you after I've read some stuff. This isn't necessarily going to be a vlog where you're like seeing bits of my life so much as I will be checking in with you on the arcs, on my thoughts, what I'm feeling as I read these things. I might choose to throw some other things in if I'm home, but for the most part, I probably wouldn't plan on that in this kind of a vlog. This is going to be much more informational, I guess you could say. So I will check in with you when I have more to say. Hello, so it is now Tuesday. I was really bad about updating yesterday. Yesterday was kind of wild. We had a lot going on. But I did finish Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I had already kind of started this before this video started, so I should preface it with that. So I didn't just binge the entire book yesterday. I was about 30% of the way in yesterday when I started, and I really ended up enjoying it. Chloe ended up being a fantastic character, and Red was very swoon-worthy, and I really liked these characters because they weren't perfect. They made bad decisions, and some of those bad decisions were really frustrating to read, but I really ended up enjoying it overall, though. So I ended up giving it 4 stars. It's not a brand new favorite for me, but I also thought the plus size rep was great. And I think the disability rep was good on my end. And then other Own Voices reviewers have said that the disability rep is really good as well. So I can definitely say now that, yes, the disability rep is good because I did check out Own Voices reviews before I filmed this to make sure it was, you know, really well done. I mean, I don't know anybody close enough to know what that really looks like. So I wanted to definitely check some Own Voices reviews before I told you guys, because I think that's important. And then, so I had that all finished. And then when I went to take a bath last night, I'm like, I need something to read because I like to read in the bath. Yes, I'm that person. I had finished Chloe Brown by then. So I picked up Leave Me Breathless by Jodi Ellen Malpas. Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do digital, physical, digital, physical, digital with the 5. Because then if I have time, I would love to either get ahead on the ones for next week or get to some of my backlog physical ones, because I do have a few of those. So yes, this one, these are British romances. So the writing in them is a little bit different. So I like to tell people that. And this one, we are following a guy who works with like a detailed protective agency kind of situation. Hello, Lightsong. Good morning, sir. He likes to do this to me in the morning. He's just gonna hunker down there. Okay. Now that he's settled, so in this one, Hannah is a woman living in a small town to be a painter. I think she's got secrets. I'm only 30 pages in, so I don't know too much. And then the guy, Ryan, he's the one who works for the Protective Detail Agency, and he is looking to retire and came home to his hometown because he has a house, and so he wanted to work on the house and maybe build another house and do some things like that. And they have a very interesting meet cute in which he almost runs her down in his truck. And yeah, it's sweet so far. Nothing too crazy. And I will be able to tell you more after work today. I do have my releases on my radar to film and get uploaded hopefully today. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. And I just wanted to check in and let you guys know I did like Chloe Brown. I do plan on picking up a physical copy of that one. And I just ended up enjoying it. That one does, all of these are coming out on the 5th. So I hope to have this up on the 4th so that you guys can go into this knowingly and all those kinds of things. But yeah, so that's what's going on for now. I need to get this cat off my lap because I actually need to get going to work. It's already like 8:15 and I need to get on the road. So I'm to work on time. And yes, so that's where we're at this morning, and I will check with you later. Hello. So it is actually Thursday. Happy Halloween. I didn't really check in really at all yesterday. I haven't got my glasses on yet, but I did end up finishing Leave Me Breathless yesterday, and I really ended up enjoying this. I tend to really like Malpas's writing. She left it very smexy, which is great, but she also puts enough like mystery and intrigue in it that's plausible and believable for the most part, that it keeps you interested. In this one, it's the most unbelievable plot of hers that I've read so far, but I still really enjoyed it. 4 stars. I really like her writing, so I'm really just drawn to what she does. And I will continue to pick up her books coming up in the future. And yes, I really enjoyed this particular one. The dynamic between the couple was great. We are dealing, trigger warning for like domestic abuse from a previous relationship before we enter our main couple. It's not happening with the main couple. I want to make that very clear. And how our main female character chooses to get out of that is what's a little bit unbelievable to me and a little far-fetched. Outside of that, like the realm of belief is pretty real. So yeah, I found it really engaging, really interesting. It flew. It was compulsorily readable. I really enjoyed it. And I definitely recommend that you guys pick this one up. I did also start Stealing Her. I'm only a couple of chapters into this one, and I am really interested to see where it goes. I don't know enough to really articulate my thoughts about this, but yeah, so I'm gonna go run some errands. I need to go to the bank and a couple other things, and yeah, that's kind of my plan right now, and I will check in with you guys once I've read more of Stealing Her. Okay, so it's been hours since we last chatted. My car is currently in the shop. It's been another day. My battery completely died while I was out and about today. So, yeah. Anyways, I got to sit and read. So, I finished Stealing Her. And it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. It's definitely not a new favorite romance. But I did like it okay. The whole premise of one brother trying to steal his brother's former fiance was a little much for me. I mean, the one brother is really like a douche canoe, so let's just get that out of the way. But it's all done in misleading and stuff, and it's just, it was not my favorite choice for plot. It worked fine. The plot was executed well. It's just not my favorite kind of plot. So that's where we're at there. So next up on my arc listy that I'm doing is Don't Breathe a Word by Christine Craig. I know this is more of like an intense suspense, almost thriller-y kind of romance. So I think that's going to be a good fit for Halloween because it is still Halloween. I'm not sure how much of this I will get read today. We will see. Like I say, with my car in the shop and stuff, there's a lot going on, and this is like over 400 pages. So I don't think I'll finish this today unless, something wild happens. But I can get a good chunk of that done today, and that would be really nice. But I do need to read more of Red, White, and Royal Blue. I need to read my next set of pages. I have a myriad of feelings about this. I do plan on doing a dedicated video to this. So if that's up, I will link it. If not, then know that that's coming. But yeah, that's definitely... I don't think I'm going to love this as much as everybody else right now. I'm still only about halfway through. Could easily be changed and swayed. But I thought I'd just give you a brief update since I am reading such a popular book right now I'm buddy reading this with Lindsay over at Lindsay Tutt. Y'all, if you're not following Lindsay, you definitely need to. She's turning into more of a booktuber because she's reading so many books with me, and I love her to pieces for it, and it's so fun to be reading with her. And she does read a ton of manga as well, so if you like manga and you like books, Lindsay's a great person to watch. She's typically a behind the camera style of YouTuber, which is fine. It's a choice. And so her style of videos will always be kind of, she's behind the camera and she's got the things in front of her, but she's great. I really enjoy it. She does lots of unboxings on her channel as well. So if you like unboxings, she's great. I know. Go follow Lindsay. I'm just shouting up all my people. So yes, I'm going to start in on Don't Breathe a Word, and I will talk to you guys later. Hi, hello. So it's been a little bit since I filmed a clip for this particular video. So it is now Saturday evening, and I've read some things since we last chatted, so let's have a little chat. Just for fun, for those who care, I did sneak in a few volumes of manga over the last couple of days. I thoroughly enjoyed all of them, and I promise to give you more thoughts in my mid-November wrap-up. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So let's talk about the last thing I was reading when we last chatted, and that was Don't Breathe a Word by Christine Craig. I did get this finished this evening, and I really enjoyed this. I found it to be really fun and engaging. It is a suspense-style romance, so there's the girl's essentially on the run from the bad guy, kind of a situation, and she's got her sister's kid in tow, so her niece, and of course her neighbor is a cold case cop, and technically what's going on with her does involve things surrounding a cold case, and so it's all tied together, and they live next door to each other, and there's a dog that keeps sneaking into Bailey's yard and stuff. No, wrong book, not Bailey. This is Vicky. Vicky's Yard, not Bailey. That's the other book I read today. But yes, this one was really good. I really liked the writing. Christine Craig's writing was really well done, and the smell was really good. So if you like a little bit of suspense in your romances, I would recommend this. I mean, you have to suspend a little bit of disbelief with these sometimes, and I think you have to do that a little bit with this one. But I do think they're fun, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. The other book that I read today was Spun Out by Lorelei James. This one was a really fun cowboy romance. And again, it involves a child inserted in the middle, and that's how they got connected to each other. And it was just so fun. I really, really loved this. So essentially, this guy and his daughter work on this ranch. And what happens is his daughter's kind of a pill. Not kind of a pill. She's a pill. But what happened is her mom died when she was 6 months old. And it was kind of a traumatic thing. I'm going to say trigger warnings for this particular book. This is a depression, suicide, self-harm kind of trigger warning. All of that kind of stuff related to it. So definitely be aware of that going into this book, that is something you're going to tackle. There's a lot going on. There is some physical illness kind of representation as well. And there's some stuff going on with the daughter as well. And I think all of it was handled really, really well. And I personally didn't find it triggering, but I could see how it could be triggering to somebody. So that's why I give you the trigger warnings. But it's one of those things where I truly and genuinely think that this book was well done. I really enjoyed it. There were some things obviously in place for plot convenience, but they weren't too obnoxious. With romances, that just kind of happens. So it's something I just kind of learned to accept. And I would give this one a solid 4 as well. It was really good. It was really solid. I will end up getting a physical copy once I can find one on sale. I really enjoyed it though, but until then I do have my digital copy, and I will continue to enjoy it. I have continued going in red, white, and royal blue. I've just got tomorrow's reads left. I still have a lot of thoughts and feelings about this. So again, I will do a fully dedicated video to this when I finish. But know that overall, I'm liking it. But there's some things about it that I'm just like, I don't know. So we'll see. So that was all the ones that I had set aside on my TBR that I've been able to read for you. So one thing that I was able to get my hands on that I didn't think I was going to get my hands on was a copy of the Bromance Book Club. And this comes out on Tuesday. And it's a, barely over 300-page romance. And I think I can get it done in the next 2 days, which means I can still get this video up on time, but sneak in an extra book. So I think I'm going to do that, because this is one that I really, I've heard you either love it or you don't kind of a situation. And I think I'm going to be in the camp that loves this. So I really want to read it and give you guys my thoughts, since I'm going to be doing this kind of video. And instead of titling it just books that come out today, it's going to be romances that come out today. Because everything I've read has been a romance. I was able to get a couple of other books that do release on the same day, but I'm not going to have enough time to get to those, because those are a little more dense. So I don't think that'll quite work for this format of a video. So I do want to throw in the Bromance Book Club as well, though. So know that that is coming, and I will give you more thoughts in the next clip. Hello, it is now Monday morning. I just finished a little bit of a Beat Saber workout, and I have a final update for you. So I've finished 2 things since we last chatted. First up, I did finish Red, White, and Royal Blue. I don't love this as much as everybody else. I do think this one was overhyped for me in particular. The best part about this book was the email chain to me. Their meetups, of course, were steamy and lovely, but it's one of those things where the wooing that happened in those emails just had me weak in the knees and swooning. Alex is a character that, for me, is hard to love. He grows on me throughout the book, and I feel much better about him by the end. But I'm still not madly in love with him like a lot of people are. I feel like... How do I want to phrase this? I feel like he was so horrible in the beginning that even though I see him change, I still have a hard time, loving him. Where for me, Henry was much more lovable from the beginning, personally. So, of the 2, Henry's my favorite. But as a pair, they work really well together and understand each other. And I liked seeing them vulnerable with each other and things. There are parts of this book that worked really well for me and others that didn't. So I landed on a 3-star. I do feel good about a 3-star on this one. And yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with Red, White, and Royal Blue. Please don't come after me because I didn't love it, because I do see why people love this so much. It's just a personal thing with Alex, I think. He reminds me a lot of my ex-husband, so I do think that tainted my view of him. So that's a personal thing for me. So please know that I did enjoy this, and if this sounds interesting at all to you, I do recommend picking it up. But on the other hand, I read the Bromance Book Club in 1 sitting, people. 1 sitting. So, obviously my thoughts are good. I think because of my life experiences, I see this book differently than people who have not gone through divorce. When you're going through a divorce, your emotions are very all over the place. In this situation, the guy seriously didn't understand what he did wrong, but he wanted to make it right. In my personal life situation, the person didn't understand what he did wrong, but he also didn't want anything to change. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And, you know, we're divorced for other reasons than the reasons in this book. But, so, if you aren't familiar with what the Bromance Book Club is about, this is about a Major League Baseball star who discovers that after 3 years of marriage, his wife has been faking orgasm ever since she had their twins. And so he's devastated. He reacts badly to it, and he owns that he reacted badly to that. And after a little while, because he moves into the guest room instead of sleeping in their bed still after that, because he's so hurt and offended, and his wife ends up asking him for a divorce. And so he's in a hotel room, slobbering drunk. His teammates come and find him, and they start, like, talking in this, like, secret code. Like, should we let him in? Do you think we can save it? Blah, blah, blah. And essentially, he's invited into the Bromance Book Club, where these big burly men read romances. This one features a historical bodice ripper style romance. And he uses what he learns from the book to attempt to save his marriage. And the way this all goes down for me is really sweet and really good, and I really liked it. This book is not perfect, and I will never say it's perfect, but I did give it 5 stars purely for the enjoyment level, the engaging writing, and the fact that I'm wholly invested in this series at this point. This is the first book in a series. The second book in the series comes out in March, which I am super looking forward to. So yes, I gave this 5 stars more for enjoyment than actual, like, a perfect book kind of situation. But I do think this is worth it. If it sounds interesting at all to you, then I highly suggest picking it up. The layers of the way their relationship isn't functioning is very realistic. And, you know, when things are going wrong in a marriage, you stop talking to each other. And that's totally what these two did. And so by him fervently trying and stuff, it opens up their communication again, and it opens up their communication in a way that they didn't have, because certain things felt really rushed in their relationship early on, and so they didn't have the firm ground that a celebrity sports star would need to start. So, like, it's really, I could go on about this for a long time. There's a good chance you'll see a dedicated review to this one on my channel, because I did thoroughly enjoy this. Now, I know I am smelly and fresh from a workout, so I'm going to go shower and get ready for the day, and then I will wrap up everything that we read in this vlog and my thoughts. All right, friends, let's wrap up this vlog. So I'm going to start off with the 3 digital reads that I read. First up, I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I ended up really enjoying this. I don't think it's necessarily anything groundbreaking or earth-shattering when it comes to the romantic plot, but it does have a lot of great representation, and I do think it's an important book, so I definitely recommend checking it out. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. Next, we have Stealing Her, and with this one, you're dealing with a brother trying to steal the other brother who's a jerk's girlfriend, and it just kind of felt icky to me. After sitting on it a little bit, I've actually lowered it to a 2-star. This one's just not for me. I didn't really fully understand the plot. I mean, it's kind of there in the title, but I didn't fully grasp the level it was going to go to, I guess you could say. So this one was just a miss for me. I'm really sad about it because the writing was good, which is why I got 2 instead of 1 star, but it was one of those things where it just wasn't a good fit for me. And then last, for the digital reads, we have Spun Out by Lorelei James. Spun Out was a really cute single-parent romance. I ended up really enjoying this. It was just a good, solid time, and I recommend everybody check it out because I just thought it was fun. If you like cowboy romances, definitely check it out. I do have a couple of notable volumes of manga that I also read in this vlog that I'm going to talk about briefly. And so first up, we have Daytime Shooting Star Volume 3. I really like where the story is headed in Volume 3. You could see that it was trying to flip the thoughts on the ships back to the teacher for the age gap, but I'm still sticking with my tsundere. I really hope he wins. He's this blonde guy here, and I just think he's going to be what's best for Suzume. I think it's just going to be a really cute and good fit, and so I hope it works out. Next we have The Water Dragon's Bride, Volume 11, which is the final volume in this series. I totally cried. This ended perfectly, in my personal opinion. I will have a full chat talking about the entire series soon, but I do want to reread all of the volumes before I give you that, so everything is extra fresh, so I can give you from the beginning to the end how I feel, because I read the first volume over a year ago, I want to say, so I want to reread it all before I give you my full thoughts. And then last for the manga is Volume 10 of Dream and Sun, which again is the final volume in the series, and I liked how this ended. Though my ship didn't sail, the person in the ship I was most attached to is okay in the end, and I really like where they're headed with that. They could honestly do a spin-off series about him, and I would love that. And yes, so I am really okay with how this ended. I do recommend checking out the series. It's a boarding house style romance for shoujo, so you're dealing with high schoolers. This one does involve an age gap romance, and the age gap romance does win in the end, but there is a time skip and stuff to make things feel a little better by the end of the story. But all in all, I did enjoy this. I will share full thoughts soon, but again, like with The Water Dragon's Bride, I do want to reread the entire series before I give you guys my full review. And then I have 4 other books that I have read during this vlog. And so the top of the stack here is Don't Breathe a Word by Christine Craig. This is a suspense romance is the way I'm going to call it. It's got a little bit of mystery. I wouldn't call it a thriller. But yeah, it's kind of a mystery suspense romance. And I really liked this. Again, we're dealing with a single parent romance. You guys are sensing a trend here. It's a thing. It's a mood. I'm all about it though. And I really ended up enjoying this. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the character of Julian, or no, not Julian, Juan, sorry. Juan was a really great character. Him dealing with loss and grief is very palpable. So I'm definitely going to say trigger warnings for grief, depression, loss of a loved one. Like, it's heavy, but it's really, really good. And I highly and strongly recommend it. Next on the stack, we have Leave Me Breathless by Jodi Ellen Malpas. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. You have to suspend your disbelief for a couple of points in the story, but all in all, the romance plot of this was solid. Again, another single parent romance, and it was just really well done. I really like these characters. I grew attached very quickly, and I do like Malpas's writing. She is a British writer, so it does kind of have that British style to it. British romances read a little different than an American romance, so that's why I like to tell you guys that. But yes, highly recommend, 4 stars. Next we have the thing people are going to be most mad at me about, and that is Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I ended up giving 3 stars. I do think this one was overhyped for me in particular, and I have certain feelings about Alex that remind me of my ex-husband, and so I think that's what tainted it for me, if I'm totally and completely honest. But the best part about this was the email chain between Alex and Henry, and I really did enjoy their dynamic in that regard, and the fact that they really were making long distance work and look good. I think that's important because long distance can be done as long as it's done right. And I think this book handled that pretty well, so I definitely recommend you check it out if it sounds interesting to you. Just know that Alex can be kind of a selfish prick. So if you know that going in, you might do a little better than I did, but yes, 3 stars. And last but not least was actually kind of surprising for me, and that is the Bromance Book Club, which I ended up giving 5 stars. Mostly for my enjoyment level, because this isn't a perfect novel, and there's some things that aren't okay and are just kind of glossed over in the story, and I'm not going to shy away from the fact that they're there, despite giving it 5 stars. I will give you guys my full thoughts in a full book review on this channel coming soon, but I wanted you guys to know that I loved it. I really did. I think it did a lot of things right that usually get done wrong in novels, and I think that's why it ended up being 5 stars for me. So that's it, guys. There are all the things kind of that I've read in the last week. Most of them are coming out today or on the 5th. There's, I think the only one that's not, out of everything I read, is Red, White, and Royal Blue. But I figured you guys would want me to share my thoughts on that one because I haven't talked about that at all because I hadn't read it yet. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more videos kind of like this, when I have a bunch of things that are all releasing on the same day and I'm able to get them early or review copies, let me know in the comments down below because I would be happy to do these kinds of videos for you in the future. I know this one was very informational, not so day in my life, but I do have some day in my life stuff coming up in like December and January, and we'll have lots to talk about then. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these and your thoughts on them, and I will chat with you later. Bye.